guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for January 28th, 2018. I'm going to remember the date, really. I'm going to just talk about the books that I finished, the books that I'm currently reading, and then the books that I plan to read sometime during this week. So it's kind of a mixed bag this week. I did finish 2 nonfiction books, which was awesome. And then I finished a classic on my classics list that I wanted to get to this year. And I also, what else did I read? I read something. Oh, and then I'm near the end of a series for science fiction. So that's awesome. It's kind of a little mix, but it was a lot of nonfiction because the point is that these have been on my list all month of stuff I've been currently reading, and I finally just finished them because I was getting to the end of the month and I wanted them all done. Of course, one of them had to go back because it was a library book, and that was Sapiens, A Brief History of Mankind by Yuval Noah Harari. This was a really good overview of Homo sapiens from the beginning to modern day. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it was actually, I really enjoyed it. Oh, I don't remember who the narrator was. I'm still forgetting to do that because I turned it back into the library. So I'm sorry, but the narrator was really good. I thought I didn't have any problem with him at all. The book itself, I learned a lot of things about society and the way a lot of the things we think up, you know, are really just our imagination is how we have laws and morals and guidelines for things. I just think it's really, and governments and stuff. So it's just really kind of cool. Anyway. So overall, it was a great nonfiction read. I had wanted to get it as soon as I'd heard about it a couple months ago. Maybe a lot of people had it, like, I don't know, Nonfiction November, but I had to get on the wait list at the library, and of course it finally came in January, where all my library books came in all at once. So anyway, I finished it before it was due, so that was all was good. So that was fun. So and then I also finished Chernobyl Prayer by Slavanya Aleksevic, and I loved this book. This is still like one of the best nonfiction books I think I've ever read. It was so powerful in the voices because it's all narratives of people talking to the reporter, or the journalist who wrote this. And it's them telling their impressions or what happened where they were when the Chernobyl accident happened, and the aftermath. And that was the most powerful part of this, was the aftermath. It's because, again, it's something that I was a kid when it happened, and I remember all the stuff about acid rain and milk and all that. Like, I remember certain things from it, but I never got the actual people who lived in that area and what they had to deal with and what they're still dealing with. It was just heartbreaking, but I really recommend this for a nonfiction read. It was really, really well done. So, and then what do? I pick up, I was still finishing that, but I finally decided I better pick up We, by Eugenie Yamady. So this is the first dystopian novel, modern novel. It was published in 1921, and it's a Russian author who I think was actually exiled because of this book, so that was kind of interesting. This was weird. I know, as I said, it was, again, dystopians are not my thing, but I think I enjoyed it to the point as I see when people talk about the dystopians, and even some of the stuff actually in here reminded me of the books I just read by Ada Palmer, which is, a utopian, dystopian, same kind of thing where everybody's supposed to be happy doing their own thing, and then there's all this bad stuff in the background. So again, this is with the one state and D503, who kind of gets caught up in a lot of different things. The ending blew me away. I mean, I knew it was coming, but it was maybe because I'd heard it before. Still was a little surprised with the way it all went. But I do have to mention that you can tell this was written by a man by the descriptions of the females and the way what he focuses on. So that was kind of annoying, but it was a time thing, so I'm not, his generation, whatever. I didn't really care for that part of it. And then the other thing is this had really choppy dialogue. So I think it's realistic in the way people actually talk. It just drove me crazy because they never completed full sentences sometimes in their dialogue, and it just drove me nuts. I'm like, just say what you want to say. Just spit it out. And it happened all the time. And so that was, I would say, my biggest criticism to this was the choppy sentence structure. And especially in dialogue, it was just drove me crazy. But it was broken up into little, like I think it was like 39 chunks, because the records are 40, I guess there's 40, chunks that are, so like little chapters. So it was really easy to pick up and read a couple of chapters and then put it down. And I'll say the same thing with Chernobyl. Oh, yeah, that's my cats attacking my shit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, yeah. Because I need to clean this area up, I admit it. I see I got my new chair. Woohoo! Someday I'll be filming over there. I don't know. I didn't do it today, sorry. What was I saying? Distractions. So the same thing with this, where these are little chapters, because there's like 40 chapters in a 200-page novel. This was broken up, by each narrative. So it was really easy to just read, 10 or 15 pages, really, like, and have like 4 or 5 dialogues or narratives from those people. And so it made it easier to read that all month. So I just wanted to mention that. But anyway, I'm probably going to have to refilm that, aren't I? Oh, cats. Anyway, so those are the things I finished physically. And then I'm doing the 24 and 48 readathon and failing at it pretty substantially. But I did get done... okay, is it going to show? So, oh, come on. So I read Binti Home by Nnedi Okorafor, and I enjoyed this second part to the trilogy of Binti. There were some things I didn't quite like there were some characters I was like, what? And but that's just me. As I said, it's a choice. Anyway, the point is that, but I think the story moved along. It totally went in directions I did not anticipate, which is great. I love that part of it. And I still love the world building. And again, the themes of home are really well done in here. So I did really enjoy this. I also, then right after I went straight into, and my thing isn't going to go that fast, is it? Oh, anyway. So then I read Binti the Night, or I'm in the middle of Binti the Night Masquerade, and it is, I'm like 40 pages from the end. I was getting too tired last night to finish reading that. So this is the conclusion to the Binti trilogy, I believe. So, I mean, I think it's just gonna be a trilogy. That's what I thought it said on Goodreads. But, so I'm just gonna finish. Little brats. Anyway, sorry. So anyway, I'm gonna finish that up today, hopefully, and then I'm probably gonna move on to another ebook. I found that I've bought a lot of these little tour novellas or little short novels, and I just have so many of them that I haven't read. I mean, I have a lot of Kindle books that I haven't read, don't get me wrong, I do. But my goal is to, for this readathon, to read several of them, because I hadn't read many. So the one I'm going to pick up next is Taste Tomorrow by Sarah Gailey. This is the second book in the River of Teeth, and that's the one with the 1800s with the hippos. So I'm really looking forward to this. I really enjoyed the first one, and where it left off, I'm like, I want to know what happens next. So I just haven't got around to reading the second part, so I'm going to do that. So that's kind of where it's kind of I just want to show all the Kindle stuff, I guess. That's what I'm going to probably do today. I am rereading Just One Damn Thing After Another. I haven't read very much of it. One day I picked it up and did about 30 pages. I'm probably going to do a little bit more of that. Like if I get done with these novellas, I might change over to this, because I really want to reread this so I can continue the series. But this might be a book that I go into February and continue rereading. Again, I still want to reread it. I'm not making the time for it, but I will, because I do actually reread a lot of my books. And then I want to bring up the one book that's going to be kind of a disappointment to people, but this is probably a book I may DNF. Right now I'm on the fence, and that is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. So I have an issue. I I was really getting into it. I really liked the beginning part. I got to page 48 and I almost threw this book across the room. Now, I found with looking at books that why I don't like books is when a character does something that's so stupid that I cannot handle it. And I don't care how old they are. They're old enough, usually in the story, to realize what kind of consequences that could bring. And they just do it anyway. And for me, I find sometimes really bad ideas. Well, page 48, that happened. And I'm still mad. And it's been almost a week since I read that. I think I read that on Monday or Tuesday. And I'm still mad. And I can't pick up this book right now. I want to try it again, but I'm not sure. I want to know if anybody else had that issue. I mean, again, if you want to pick up your it's right before chapter 7. It's the, page and a half before that. I was ticked, or whatever, page 46. I'm sorry, it was on page 46. Still. Anyway, so this book it's still on my currently reading, but I don't know. I'm so close to DNFing. I really. And I know it's probably an unpopular opinion, but when a character does something so stupid that I get pissed off like that, that's not good. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not expecting everybody to do everything I want them to. That's not the point. The point is that they do something that I think is against what they should do, like character-wise, and it bothers me sometimes. And again, maybe that's the writer in me going, okay, no. But I just can't. So I might try to get past it, but we'll see. It might not be this week. So the next book I'm going to pick up, though, after my novellas is Foreigner by C.J. Cherryh. This is my in-person or live group book club that I go to. I read one of her books many years ago, and I wish I could remember which one it was. I have it on a list somewhere. I just can't remember. I did not like it. I actually hated that book. I finished it, but I didn't like it. So this is going to be my second time to try her, and I don't know anything about this. It's about first contact as well and the consequences. So I don't know anything about this. If you know anything, let me know. As I said, I'm giving her one more shot. I just really didn't like the book that I picked up before. I wish I could remember which one. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. I blocked it out really well. So anyway, but I have to get this done by the second Tuesday of February, so I'm going to start it on Monday. The nonfiction book I want to pick up to kind of read around now that I've finished all my nonfiction. I am really into my nonfiction right now, and I want to read On the Map by Simon Garfield. So this is a mind-expanding exploration of the way the world looks. And this just talks about maps and what gets on it and what doesn't, and going off the theory that the reason why we as a species was able to do so, or does so much with our brain is because we created maps or something. So I'm like, I don't know. We'll see if that actually premise comes out. But it just sounds really interesting. This is one of 3 books that I have on maps, and this is the one I bought first. So I'm gonna go for this one. And it's a pretty chunky. I mean, it's over 400, but with a lot of notes. So, but I'm gonna try to dip in and out of that. And then on the 1st of February, I know that some people on here when I mentioned some books that I wanted to read, I think series that I wanted to start on that video. And I wanted to start reading this City Stained Red by Sam Sykes. So I read his first, the Undergate series. Actually, I don't even know if that's what that's called, Tome of the Undergate series. And I really enjoyed it. Laughed all the way through. It was really good. It had all the feels as well. It was just fun. So this is his second set of trilogies. This is the first book in that for Bring Down Heaven. So I want to get back and see all those characters that I liked in the first group of books. But I hear that you can just start without reading those books, is what he said. That so, but as I said, I've read them all. So I'm going to pick this up. So if anybody else wants to, I want to know about it and we can read it. But I've been looking forward to picking up this series for a while. So those are all the books that I've done over the last week, or I'm going to read, and hopefully this next week, or at least start. So we'll see what happens. So what are you guys reading? How are you guys doing? What's going on? Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.